Okay, this is sound number 8. The sound is produced in this manner. D, d, d. Okay. Examples of words containing sound d are did, doer, desk, door, distance, additional, done, undo, detrimental, debt, distant, addition, do, divide, divisive, dam, deity, adder. Now, I have several observations to make, with this sound d. About this sound, I can tell you first, it has a little explosion at the beginning, so you don't say did, you say d, did. Now, if we come here and we take a look at the sixth line, we have additional, addition, and adder. Please, let's listen carefully to these three words, and then let's see that in this word and in this word there is no difference when we produce a sound d. However, in this one there is a slight difference, and I'd like to explain what that difference is. Okay. This word is pronounced additional. This word is pronounced addition. Now this one you can say adder, but you can also say, you can say adder, but it's very common in the United States of America to say adder. And the reason why this happens is because here we have a phonetic um, instance of what we call flap T or flap D. So just to emphasize the pronunciation of this word and flap D, we say adder, adder. Let me try to make it better. And adder, adder. So let's go to the following slide, and then I will explain what flap D and flap T mean. Okay, this is sound 8A, continued. Let's see what flap D and flap T are. We call them flap D or flap T, but remember, when these characters, these characters are in slashes, they are not letters, they are sounds. So a flap D or a flap T are just a way of pronouncing letters D and T in the American variant of English. There are two important conditions for flap D and flap T to be correctly pronounced. Okay, two conditions, not only one. Sometimes in a word you're going to see one condition met but not the other. Therefore, you cannot use flap T or flap D. Now, why do you want to pay attention to flap T or flap D? Well, because if you live in the United States of America, you should produce flap T and flap D very often, very frequently. Otherwise, you are not going to sound completely. Well, you're not going to be using the standard variant of American English. So here we go. Condition number one. The D sound or the T sound must, this is extremely important, must be between two vowel sounds in the same word or in different words. Again, D sound or the T sound must be between two vowel sounds. This is important. Two vowel sounds in the same word or different words. Now, condition number 2, the stress of the word, okay, that you are saying or reading should not be should not be to the right of the D or the T sounds. Let us see some examples and how we apply the important concept of flap D and flap D. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, this is sound 8B. Continue. As we saw on the previous slide, there are two important conditions for flap D or flap T, or you can also say flap D or flap T to be correctly pronounced. Condition number 1. Condition number 1 states that the D sound or the T sound must be between two vowel sounds in the same word or in different words. Condition number 2. The stress should not be to the right of the D or T sounds. Let us see some examples and how we apply the important concept of flap D and flap T. Okay, before we go to the examples, I want to explain that you must have both conditions met if you are going to pronounce flap D or flap T. Okay, so let's see examples in the same word. First of all, here we go. Addition, additional, adore, attire, atone, atomic. Well, in these words, okay, this first line, we cannot say addition or additional or adore or attire. Why? Because both conditions that I have just mentioned above are not met. In in the case of these words on the first line, the first condition is met. So yes, you have the D or the T sound between two vowel sounds. For example, you have and I. Yes, these are two vowel sounds. The problem with these words here on the first line, okay, these words, is that the condition number 2 is not met, and condition number 2 states that the stress should not be to the right of the D or the T sounds. And if we take a look, the stress in the word addition is to the right, again, to the right of the D sound. Another example, the stress in the word additional is to the right of D. So here, condition number 2 is not met. Once again, in condition number 2, we say the stress should not be to the right of the D or T sounds. Here we go, adore. If you listen to the stress is here, door. Okay, so it's to the right, so condition number 2 is not met. And the same pattern occurs with the words attire, atone, and atomic. Now, let us go to this second line of words, and then here we can see both conditions met, and this is how we can say the flap d or flap d in the following manner. We can say adder, but in very few occasions, speakers will say adder. We say adder, adder. We say audible. We say edible. We say item, item. We say itemize, and we say naughty. Now, let's explain this in more detail. Let's see condition number 1 and condition number 2. Condition number 1 is that the d, t, okay, that the d or the t sounds are between vowel sounds. If we take a look here, we have and This is a schwa. So because we have two vowel sounds, okay, and the D sound is between two vowel sounds, we have to go to condition number 2 and then see if the stress is not to the right of the D sound. Well, when you say adder, the stress is here. The stress is here. So condition number 2 is met. The stress is not here. Then instead of saying der, you say adder, 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 adder. Basically, flap T or flap D are pronounced in the following manner. Ra, re, re, do, ru, ra, re, dio, ra, 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 re, 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 re. Okay. Now, just to help you, in case if it helps, the flap T or flap D sound is very similar, if not identical, to the sound of R in languages like Italian, Russian, Spanish. So if you speak one of those, or if you have studied one of those languages, this sound is very similar to ra, re, ri, ro, ru. If you don't know that sound, well, you learn it. It's very simple. You produce it by touching the back of your teeth, what we call the alveolar ridge here, with the tip of your tongue. So if these are your teeth and this is your tongue, you say like this. Ra, re, ri, 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 ri. Now, let's repeat these words using flap T or D, and let's analyze each one of them so that if you don't understand the first example and the second example, then you can understand the third or the fourth example. Here we go. Adder, we have already explained it, and you pronounce it adder, adder. Now, second one, audible. So, what is, well, condition number 1, you have to make sure that these two sounds, okay, that the D sound is between two vowel sounds. Here we have the combination of letters A, U, and the pronunciation of this combination is okay, and then this is I. So this and this, these two sounds are vowel sounds. So the D sound is between two vowels. Therefore, you pronounce it audi. Now, is condition number 2 met? Yes, because you say audible. Then the stress of the word is here on this syllable, audible. You don't say audible. No, you say audible. Now, condition number 2 states that since the stress is not to the right of D, you pronounce it with the flap D effect, which is audible, 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 audible. If you say audible, that's not correct. If you say audible, it is correct, but it's not, commonly heard in the American variant of English. It is common, but it's much more common to hear audible. Now let's go to the next example. Example number 3, edible, edible. Now here we go. We have the D sound between two vowel sounds. Condition number 1. The D sound is between two vowel sounds, e and I. And condition number 2. The vowel to the right of D is not stressed. Therefore, flap D is possible and totally correct. So we say edible. You can repeat after me. Edible, edible. Now, next, item. Next, item. Well, here we go. Condition number 1 is the sound T between two vowel sounds. Listen. Item. Yes, I and M, A. So condition number 1 is okay. Now, condition number 2, is it met? Is this vowel stressed? Do you say item? No, no, you don't. So this is not stressed. So condition number 1 and condition number 2 are met. Therefore, you can say item with flap T. Now, the next one is itemize. Itemize. Well, It is a very, it's a related word to the word item, itemize. So the t sound is between two vowels, I, and then a is not stressed. That's condition number two, the stress. So since both conditions are met, you say itemize, itemize. Now, the last one. This one is interesting. I really like it because condition number one states that the t sound, in this case t sound, has to be between two vowel sounds. And sometimes students look at, okay, this is I'm sorry, this is e, so that's a vowel sound, but this is h. But well, what you have to listen for, or is the sound, not the spelling. In spelling, well, condition number one would not be applicable in here because you would say H is a consonant, then G is a consonant. So condition number one doesn't apply. However, when you say the word naughty, you realize that this sound is mute, is silent. You do not pronounce it. You don't say naughty. No, this is silent. This is silent. So if G is silent and H is silent, then these two consonants are silent. Then you listen to the word naughty. So this the T is between two vowel sounds. This R and this E. So condition number one is applicable. Condition number one is met. So you say no, silent, silent, ri, no, silent, silent, ri, nori. So condition number one is okay, is met. Now let's see condition number two. Is this E to the right, to the right, to the right of T stressed? Do you say naughty? No, you say naughty. So the stress is here. Well, since the stress is not to the right of T, you can pronounce this T with a flap T. And what you say is naughty, naughty, naughty. Okay, let me, explain a very interesting example. Okay, let's talk about, the word idle. I have to tell you that there are many cases like this one, so you must know this example. You see the word idle, and then you have I-D-L-E, and in this case, letter L is not silent, and letter D is not silent. So, and when you analyze condition number one to determine if you have to pronounce it with a flap T or flap D, um, you say maybe condition number one is not met. Well, not exactly, because what you have to do is listen to the pronunciation of a word. That's extremely important. You don't look at writing when you're analyzing sounds. You listen to sounds, okay? Now, let's pronounce it according to dictionaries, and in this case, Merriam-Webster's, okay, which I strongly suggest you use. Is the pronunciation of this word is, see the primary stress here that I explained some slides ago? Okay, here you have idle, and when you take a look at the phonetic transcription, see the slashes here between d and you have a small schwa. Schwa is a vowel sound, which tells you that the d sound here is between two vowel sounds, I and With that said, now you can determine that condition number one, the D sound or the T sound must be between two vowel sounds. Here applies. Here condition number one is met. So let's go to condition number two. Where is the stress? Well, take a look. I say idle, and here it is graphically represented by the stress, the primary stress symbol, which is this one right here. Okay, so right there. So idle. Okay, this is why it is possible to say idle and not idle. Idle, because conditions number one and number 2 are met in the case of idle. Again, there are many cases like this one, so you should understand that even though you see letter D between one vowel sound and a consonant, you should always pronounce it or see the phonetic transcription to make sure that you have or you don't have a vowel sound after D or after T. Okay, now let's talk about a very important case, because so far we have talked about examples and how we apply the important concept of flap D and flap T in the same word. Now, many times you're going to see that you can apply flap T and flap D in separate words. This is one example. You have I and then a separate word don't and a separate word no. If you pronounce these three words separately, you have to say I don't know. However, as you may already know, and if you don't know, I am informing you. It is extremely common to say Ida, 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 I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Okay, for example, what is best, let's say, the best computer on the planet? I don't know. Okay, so in separate words, all you have to do is listen to the sounds. So when you say I don't know, there is a very interesting process that happens from a phonetic point of view. I want you to consider, and then again, after you learn this, you have to apply this principle to the rest of words that you know. I want you to consider this sentence, I don't know, as an entire, let's say, as an entire word with 3 syllables. Okay? Now, the 3 syllables, I am not going to say the sounds that you see here. I am just going to sort of pronounce, every syllable with the same vowel sound. So I'm going to say da, ra, ra, or da, da, and then you will tell me where you feel in the primary stress is in what I'm going to pronounce. So if I say arara, arara, okay, arara, arara, the stress is on the last r, arara. Arara, arara. And this is exactly what happens when you say the sentence, I don't know, I don't know. The stress is stronger on the last syllable, which tells you that then this syllable here is not stressed. So here we go. Condition number 1. The D sound must be between 2 vowel sounds. Well, here we have I and O, so that condition is met. Now, if we go to condition number 2, well, the stress cannot be to the right of D. Now, if you analyze the word don't, well, it is the stress has to be on O because this word don't has only 1 syllable. However, when you analyze the sentence, as you could see when I said da da da, I don't know, I don't know. Okay, the stronger stress is here. At a sentence level, the stress is not here. The stress is on no. The stress is on the word no. Therefore, you can say that the stress here is minimized to a point that this word contains primary stress in the sentence, and this word does not possess a strong, very well heard stress. Therefore, condition number 2 applies in this case. Now, I don't know. I don't know. However, if you say, for example, I don't know, and you want to emphasize that you really don't know, then you will stress this word, and you will not apply flap D. You will have to say, I don't know. A very good example. A police officer comes to you, and then they say, the police, he or she says, Sir, ma'am, I need you to step outside the vehicle because you need to tell me where the beer is because I think you're drinking beer. And then you respond, I don't know. Okay, the first time you respond, you do not stress the verb, the auxiliary verb don't. You just stress no more strongly, and then you say, I don't know. However, the police officer will become, let's say, professionally inquisitive, and then he will ask, I think you are drinking beer. Where are the bottles or the cans? And then you want to be emphatic, and then you have to stress the auxiliary verb don't. And if you stress it, then condition number one will not be applicable. I'm sorry, condition number two. Condition number two, which is the stress, should not be to the right of the D or the T sounds. Well, if you stress the auxiliary verb, that's it. Condition number two will not be met. And you will have to say, Officer, I don't know. And in that case, you don't say, I don't know. You say, I don't know when you don't want to emphasize this verb, but when you want to be emphatic about, the fact that you really don't know, you stress it. But if you stress it, condition number two is lost. Okay, it's not applicable anymore. And then you would say, I don't know, or I don't know. Okay, that is very important, and it's very, very popular, and it's very frequent in the English language. So please study it well. Let us go to the next slide. Okay, this is sound number 9. Sound number 9. It's eh, eh. So let's read the words. Bet. You can repeat. Yes, you can repeat. Come on. Bet. Check. Keg. Repeat when my hand comes towards me, okay? Keg. Step. Pen. X. Bed. Wreck. Tech. Pep. Test. X-ray. Peck. Back. Neck. Rep. Text. Ben. Okay, very good. Now let me explain something beautiful about this sound. Okay, if you ever talk to someone who speaks with a southern accent, okay, you are going to notice that they don't say bet or check or keg or step. Many southerners, okay, many people who speak with a southern accent, they will say these words in the following manner, and please feel free to repeat when I stop to go to the following word. Okay, feel free to repeat after me. Here we go. With a southern accent, many speakers would say bet, check, keg, step, pen, X, bed, wreck, tech, pep, test, X-ray, peck, back, neck, rep, text, ban. Okay, well, let us go to the following sound. Okay, this is sound number 10. Okay, the sound is a very interesting sound because it has a transition. It has a transition from air to okay? Be careful because sound number 10, okay, can make you confused because for some reason, many students pronounce it like sound number 1. Maybe go back to number 1, sound number 1, see how I pronounce it, and then come back to number 10. Sound number 1, which is the schwa plus is pronounced, sound number 1 is pronounced Now, sound number 10, this sound number 10 is pronounced air. Air. Examples. Please repeat after me. Bear. Fair. Care. Share. Glare. Stare. Dare. Flare. Fair. Chair. Stare. Wear. Bear. Tear. There. Millionaire. Okay, now let me explain something very interesting and, by the way, beautiful. Take a look at the word B-A-R-E and the word B-E-A-R. Okay, this I pronounce it bear, and this I pronounce it bear. My question for you is, what is the difference in pronunciation? Think for a moment. Okay, well, I will tell you what the difference is. There is no difference. Okay, in pronunciation, they sound exactly the same. Now, there are two differences. Number one, in spelling, B-A-R-E, and here B-E-A-R, and of course, in meaning. Okay, of course, in grammatical categories. Now, here and here the pronunciation is the same. I will ask you the same question again. What is the difference between F-A-R-E and F-A-I-R? Fair and fair. In pronunciation, there is no difference. Please do not create a difference in pronunciation that does not exist. So you would say fair and fair. The only differences are in spelling and in meaning, okay? Not in pronunciation. And if I have to, say something important about this slide, is that please pay attention to the combinations of letters that produce the sound air, air. And we have A-R-E, all these words, and many, many, many more words. A-I-R, like these ones, and many more words. E-A-R, okay, E-R-E, and A-R-E, I'm sorry, A-I-R-E, meaning, how can pronunciation help you with reading? Well, it helps you because whenever you're reading to an audience, to other people, and you see these combinations of letters, there is a very high probability that the pronunciation of all these combinations that are highlighted in yellow and underlined, well, the pronunciation should be air. Okay, please remember that. With that said, let us move on to the following slide. Okay, beautiful sound coming. Okay, this is a very important sound to know, to learn, and of course the phonetic symbol is priceless. All right, here we go. This is sound number 11, and we pronounce it E. 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 Examples: beat, leak, plea, read, lease, easy, seem, plead. Now, examples: beat, nosebleed, jeep, geese, peep, cheese, fleet, greet, greeting, kneel, keel, steep, evenly, lean, phoenix, Phoebe. Okay, if you take a look, please, I want you to pay attention to which letters and which combination of letters. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry. Which combinations of letters produce the E sound? Here we have EA. They are both highlighted in yellow and underlined. We have EE, all these words, and many more, hundreds of them. And then E all by itself, like an evenly. And then IE or OE. Here you say Phoenix, and then you say Phoebe, and they are all represented by this phonetic symbol. Now, this sound is intense. It's E. Okay. Well, I think I have a very productive comparison to make between this symbol and a shorter symbol, and I will explain what the differences are. Let us go to the following slide. All right. This is sound number 12. Okay, this, please do not be confused. Okay, many students are confused because they think that this here, this vowel I, is the same as this, and that's incorrect. If you see the slashes, this is a phonetic symbol, and the pronunciation of it is I, I. So we say bit, chip, bin, ship, hip, rip, pick, len. Again, len, pit, lip. This word I only included because you really need to know what happens if you become confused and then you use a long sound instead of a short sound. This, please don't say this in public. Don't say this to anyone. Okay, this is not a nice word. Okay, this is piss, piss. Now here we have kill, kill. Now let's take a look at let me see if I can move the you know, the other elements that I have in here. Yes, I can. All right, let's take a look at a comparison between a short sound like a and a long sound like e. All right, when we in phonetics in English we say long or short, we are not talking about length of time. So when I say a sound is long, I don't mean that I have to be, pronouncing the sound for 3 minutes. I cannot say e. No, 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 no. No. What we mean by long sounds is simply well, we refer to the intensity of the sound. This is an intense sound. This is not an intense sound. This is more relaxed. So here we say a, a. Here we say e, e. If you take a look at my tongue, this one, with this one, the tongue moves to the back of the mouth. I'm sorry, of the throat. And with this one, the tongue moves to the front of the tongue. So let's see if you can see it. Okay, hopefully you were able to see it, but all you have to do if you didn't see it is move the tongue backwards with this one and then bring it to the front with this one. Let's compare the pronunciation between these ones and the words highlighted in yellow. Here we go. Bit, beat, chip, cheap, bin, bean, ship, sheep, hip, heap, rip, rip, reap, pick, peak, len, lean, pit, peat, lip, leap, piss, peace, kill, heel. Okay, just to give you examples of how, not producing the long, intense, or the short, not intense sounds can be problematic. For example, Titanic. Titanic is a ship. So if you say that Titanic is a sheep, your words are not making much sense because this is an animal. This is an okay. So if you say that Titanic is an animal, um, your pronunciation is incorrect. So Titanic is a ship. The animal is a sheep. All right. If you're going to say goodbye to someone, you always say peace. Goodbye. Peace. Okay? Imagine if you talk to your supervisor and then you're going home and then you say piss. Okay, that can be problematic. That can be very problematic. You don't want to make a confusion between, do not create a confusion between E and E. And this concept applies to other vowel sounds because we have more long sounds and more short sounds that I will explain in the following slides. Okay, so with that said, let us go to the following phonetic symbol, the following sound, the following slide. Okay, this is sound 13. It's okay, here we go. We can see the sound in initial, in middle, and in final position. It's usually easy for most students to have it in initial position. So let's repeat after me, please. Fine. You can say fine, but I speak with a little bit of a southern accent, and I love, the southern accent. So you can repeat after me, or you can say fine. All right, but I do say fine. Everybody, so please repeat fine, flare, fire, flop, fog, flip. In middle position, it's a little bit more complicated because many students do not pronounce it after the vowel sound. So instead of saying 50, many students make a mistake and then they say 50, and that's not correct. You cannot say 50 or 50. 50 is incorrect. 50 is incorrect. So here we have a short sound E, and here we have a long sound E. So you should correctly say 50, 50. Now, here we go. 55. Again, this is the 55. Let me explain. If you say fee, fee is the long sound E and it's not correct here. You have to say 50. Yes, this is short, this is long, and this is I. So you would say E, E, I. So 55. Please do not say 55 because then you are not pronouncing the consonant V, and that is incorrect. So once again, one last time, 55. Next, here we have short E, long E, and short E. So we say E, E. Here we go. 55th. I know it can be funny for some of you because okay, so but you need to understand that this is how we in English, how we create ordinal numbers. We say Fifth Avenue. We don't say 5 Avenue. No, we say First Avenue, Second Avenue, Third Avenue, Fourth Avenue, Fifth Avenue, and we must pronounce this last th. It's part of the word. You cannot drop this consonant sound. So once again, 55th. Next word, efficient. Now, let me explain. You see a double consonant, but double consonants in English, most of the time, if not always, they sound as a single consonant. In writing, they're double, but in speaking, the sound is single. So you don't say fish. No, you say only one consonant with all double consonants in English, or I would say not to generalize or to be absolute most in most cases. So you would say efficient. Next, effective, effective, ephemeral. Okay, in final position, the sounds just like that. For example, stiff, Ralph, turf. If you remember, here you have sound number 1. U plus R plus consonant sounds with the schwa here. So turf. Now rough here in UGH. Okay, this is okay. Rough, rough, tough. UGH. The sound is laugh, laugh. And the last one, epitaph, epitaph. Okay, this was sound 13 and it's sound. Let us continue to the following sound. Okay, this is sound 14 and it's pronounced G. This phonetic symbol here is pronounced G. It can be found in initial, in middle, and final position. So let's go to the initial position examples. Please repeat after me. Go, great, gullible, grand, goose, geese, going, gone, gun, Gulliver. In middle position, you have to produce the same sound G. Therefore, you have to say in middle position, staggering, staggering, vagary, blogger, Agnes, eagle, beagle. Again, please repeat, staggering, vagary, blogger, Agnes, eagle, beagle. In final position, you must pronounce the sound. Many students make a mistake and instead of saying bag, they say back, and that is incorrect. So let's repeat the g sound in initial, middle, and in final position. So in final position, the first word is bag, tag, rag, lag, nag, jag, zigzag. Please repeat after me. Bag, tag, rag, lag, nag, jag, zigzag. Okay, well, let's go to the following sound, which is sound 15. Okay, here we are. This is sound 15, and it's now. Be very careful if you speak French Creole, Haitian Creole. I'm sorry, not French Creole, but Haitian Creole. If you speak Russian, be careful. This sound is not mute like in French or in Spanish. No. Here we have a sound, and the sound is. If you speak Russian, please be very careful because this is never. That is Russian. In English, we have no friction in the back of the throat. We say examples. Hi, hello, hey. Please repeat after me. Hi, hello, hey. Hollywood, hop, hip, Henry, hey, hollow, hook, hand, help, heap, Henrietta, Hugh, hero, house, hen house, hope, high, hard, ahoy, Anaheim, pinhole. Okay, remember this phonetic symbol is. Okay, if you put your hand in front of you, like not here, not here, not here, not too far, but here, you should feel your warm breath. Okay? And remember, no friction in the back of the throat like incorrectly. Some students say, okay? It's not house, it's house. House. Okay. Let's move on to sound number 16. Sound number 16, and that is the following slide.